Welcome to our exploration of the Nazca Lines, ancient enigmatic geoglyphs in Peru's desert. These vast artworks remain a mystery, sparking theories from alien runways to celestial maps. Join us on a journey through the top 20 ideas that attempt to unravel their secrets. Theory 20. The mirror of the sky. Imagine that a huge field was turned into a canvas of space. Many people think that the Nazca Lines were not only works of art, but also a map of the stars that the people of Nazca made. According to this idea, these lines were like a mirror to the universe because they lined up with different celestial bodies and events. This helped the Nazca figure out the seasons, and maybe even their own spirituality. Theory 19. Old schoolrooms. Could the desert have been a schoolroom in the past? According to this idea, the geoglyphs were big tools used to teach. People may have used the Nazca Lines to teach each other important things about religion, science, and geography. This would have turned the vast desert into an outdoor school for many generations. In this case, each line would have a story and a lesson that was stored in the ground. Theory 18. Signs of being fertile. Because it was so hot and dry there, the Nazca Lines may have been more than just signs. They may have been prayers. People believe that these geoglyphs, which show different plants and animals, represent wealth. The ancient Nazca people may have etched these lines into the ground to ask the heavens for help with their hopes for wealth and life. Theory 17. The 17th thing on the list is paths that look like labyrinths. One school of thought says these complicated patterns were likely labyrinthine paths people used for spiritual or meditative travel. People might have used these roads to reach a state of mental clarity, or to travel through landscapes with religiously significant meanings. It is possible to consider both of these options. Theory 16. The world already has 16 geoglyphs, and the 16th is part of that network. This idea says that the Nazca Lines were just a tiny part of a much more extensive network of geoglyphs spread all across the Andes. They were used for many things, such as defining borders between territories and linking far-apart communities. This may happen. Theory 15. Centers for holistic health and healing. Some of the paths lead to places that are said to have been used for healing and health-related practices. These places were traditional places for the Nazca people to get better. At these centers, the Nazca people did rituals to heal illnesses or improve their overall health and wellness. Theory 14. Sports and leisure hobbies come in at number 14. Some long straight lines were used for early sports or fun. Something like this is something that could happen. Most likely, these were the tracks used for races and other competitive events, since they were a popular place for sports to happen before modern stadiums were built. They did this because they provided a shared area for sports. Theory 13. The 13th spot goes to send a message to the gods. This belief originated from the idea that the lines were signs or signals meant for gods and were seen differently. According to one explanation, these phrases allowed the Nazca people to talk to their gods and ask for rain, fertility, or safety. This is one of many ways that these words could be interpreted. Theory 12. Things that help you remember things. The geoglyphs were a way for ancient leaders or gods to keep track of their memories. In this case, it's possible they were used as memory aids in a society that mainly communicated through speech. This would have helped people remember and pass on essential myths, stories, or rules to the group. Theory 11. 8th. The way people show who they are by using tribal symbols. In the Nazca culture, each shape or line stood for a different group of people. The geoglyphs were very important in this way of thinking because they helped mark land or identify people in the tribal group. It's also possible they were used in events to unite people and honor the community's history. Theory 10. Some lines are perfectly aligned with the solstices and equinoxes, which could mean they have something to do with astronomy. You can find this lineup in constellations. These alignments could have been used to mark important times of the year for farming, ceremonies, or other cultural activities that were timed to match the movements of the celestial bodies. Things that happened could have been planned to match the paths of the heavenly bodies. Theory 9. The 8th place goes to artistic expression. Within this idea, the lines are just creative ways that the people of the Nazca Desert used to show themselves in the past. The geoglyphs were a way for people to express their creativity and show off their artistic skills and sense of beauty. Additionally, they weren't helpful. They were just pretty and meant to make a statement. Theory 8. The handbook is all about travelers. The lines may have been used as travel routes to lead people to essential places for ceremonies in the Nazca culture. In this case, it's possible. One possible explanation for these paths is that they were part of a religious journey that led people through holy areas and places that were very important for rituals. This is one way that these places could be understood. Theory 7. The seventh thing on the list is charts of underground water resources. A few experts have thought that the geoglyphs might indicate where underground water sources are located. Knowing where to find water is very important in a dry area like Nazca. People could figure out where these hidden stores were by following these lines. Theory 6. This year, alien landing strips are number 6 on the list. Many believe the lines were built to be landing strips for alien spaceships. This belief is both widely held and highly debated. According to this idea, the Nazca Lines may have been caused by encounters or influences from a world other than ours. It is based on alien beliefs about ancient cultures. Theory 5. The fifth thing on the list is the farming calendar. The Nazca people likely used the lines as a calendar to plan their farming. They could have used this information to determine the best times to grow and gather crops. Because of how harsh the desert is, this kind of precise planning would be needed to get the most crops grown and ensure they can survive in the long run. Theory 4. The fourth point is to find the water sources properly. Many researchers think the lines that led straight to water sources in dry areas were the best tools for survival. This point of view is based on the idea of essential tools for life. For this reason, the lines were seen as valuable tools for living because they led people to water sources that were important for farming and daily life. Theory 3. Now we come to the third choice, hallowed paths. Many people think the lines were holy roads that led to places where practices were held. This idea has been passed down from generation to generation. Some people may have gone on a spiritual journey along these routes. Their journey would have ended in important ritual sites where the Nazca people would have performed ceremonies to honor their relatives or any gods they believed in. Theory 2. The second thing is the part that religious and spiritual groups play in society. Many academics think this is part of the religious ceremonies performed. In these ceremonies, people worshipped gods linked to water and prosperity. Knowing that these geoglyphs were there makes it more likely that they were part of complicated ceremonies that people performed to pray for rain, childbirth, and the community's well-being. Before we reveal the top theory, we'd love to hear which theory intrigues you the most and why. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more mysterious journeys like this one. Theory 1. This business, the astronomical calendar and observatory, comes in first. The Nazca Lines may have been used at some point in the past to watch the cycles of the stars and keep a complicated solar calendar. The scientific world has given this idea the most support. The people of Nazca could keep track of astronomical events like solstices, solar and lunar cycles, and other happenings by carefully watching how the geoglyphs lined up with different celestial bodies. According to the Nazca people, these astronomical events were vital for them to keep up their farming and calendar practices. Thank you for joining our captivating tour of the Nazca Lines. From artistic expressions to sophisticated astronomical tools, each theory adds depth to our understanding of these ancient marvels. We hope you found this journey as enlightening as we did.